Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Avengers Controller Build-A-Figure Wave. This is the final figure in the wave before we look at the BAF. This is U.S. Agent, essentially a repaint of the Cap Wolf Captain America figure. I don't have the Steve Rogers cap head on there, and I don't want to unbury it, but it's essentially the same exact figure. The head, of course, is going to be different because there is a different facial expression there, but it looks like to be the same boots, the same gloves, the same body overall, the same shield, although obviously different paint scheme, colors and things like that. We have had the U.S. Agent figure released before in the Marvel Legends line. We had the incorrectly painted MCU version of John Walker, U.S. Agent. Unfortunately, you know, it's just in designing the figure was not enough time to add in the white paint, and then the red is actually in the wrong spots. Didn't come with a shield, and he has the star logo on the helmet, which kind of sucks. But not only that, they did release another comic U.S. Agent figure years ago. I forget which wave this was in. I think it was the Epic Heroes wave, maybe. That was just kind of on a Bucky Cap body, so it was the same, essentially the same figure as like the Bucky Cap figure that had come out. So U.S. Agent just kind of gets the repaint treatment all around, because even this U.S. Agent, well, depending on the timing wise, because the Captain America John Walker figure came out probably after, or was it before, right around the same time. So it's just kind of one of those things. The U.S. Agent, he doesn't get any unique sculpting or anything like that. But I will say it makes sense that it would be essentially the same figure as the Captain America figure, because the obvious similarities. But anyway, let's get to the figure itself. Looking at the package, we just get a Marvel logo there on the side. We get that U.S. Agent artwork, and that looks pretty good. Here on the back of the package, just get the same artwork. The bio reads, originally appointed by the U.S. government to replace Steve Rogers as Captain America, U.S. Agent John Walker must balance his moral compass against his duty to his country. Here we have all the figures in the wave. Again, he is the last one before we look at the Build-A-Figure, and that's enough of that. Let's get right to it. Okay guys, so here is the U.S. Agent figure out of the package. Not gonna lie, there's not gonna be a whole lot to actually talk about here with this figure. But let's get a couple of things out of the way. So in terms of accessories, he has the right arm to the controller Build-A-Figure. He does come with an additional interchangeable right fist. So we will place these off to the side and take a look at those in the next video. But here we have the U.S. Agent figure. In terms of accessories specific to him, he has a couple of extra pieces. So one set of additional hands. So here on his right hand, we have the C gripping hand, so he can hold the peg of the shield. And then here he has that kind of thrown out hand, is, you know, so you can kind of gesture that he had just thrown the shield from his left hand. On the figure, he has fists, and then here we have the shield, which the shield looks pretty good, but again, the problem with the shield is this damn peg and clip system, because this clip is so unbelievably sensitive. You can just kind of break it super easy. So I don't recommend actually putting this clip on these hands, because the wrists are quite large, those gloves. Don't do it. I guarantee you are going to break that clip. I've broken a clip on video before with the Hydra Supreme Captain America. So again, don't use that clip on these wrists. It's not going to work. It's just not. I promise you, it's not. So you can use this hand, and you can use that peg actually in his hand, so he can hold the shield like so, or you can kind of finagle this a little bit. It looks like the finger and the thumb are actually already like molded together. You could cut that if you wanted to, and then you can hold the shield that way, or you can just peg the shield into his back. You see the peg hole there, and it just plugs in nice and easy like so. So you can see he has the shield on his back. But let's get in for a closer look at U.S. Agent. Even though it's pretty plain and everything, I do really like the way the black and the red and the white look together. So let's get in for a closer look at that. Okay, an up close look. The head sculpt looks really good. He looks really menacing. He's got a big ass double chin there. Yeah, I like the way it looks. It looks good. He's got a comically large nose, in my opinion. But it looks great. you know, in terms of paint, a couple of things, you know, miss a little bit of black there. Super minor, not that big of a deal. The black doesn't line up perfectly there as part of the mask. Not things that I care too much about. A little bit of extra white on the side there. Again, pretty minimal, nothing to really worry about. Where like some of the red and stuff meets, you know, you want to kind of look at some of that, but no real issues on mine. Silver belt buckle there. Red gloves, all black uniform, red boots. Not a whole lot going on in there. Now let's remove the shield and we'll take a look at the shield here in a second. We get a nice white star on his back there, and of course it's black in the center because that is where the peg hook goes, so you can port in that shield onto his back, and that actually does look nice and clean on mine. Looking at the shield, here we go, no star or anything like that. It's just kind of this bluish gray color, red, white, and then black in the center. And again, the horrible C-clip. Oof, don't use it. But yeah, there's the shield. There's the figure. Let's take a look at his articulation. Okay, this isn't exactly a new figure. We've seen a lot of the pieces, so this shouldn't be too new for you guys. He can look down that much. He can look up that much. It is on a disc hinge. Full rotation, of course. A little bit of pivot going on there into the neck. The shoulder comes straight on out like so. Full rotation in there, which I don't, for some reason, makes it seem like it's more difficult than it should be. Upper bicep swivel in there. We get a double jointed elbow. It does have pins because, again, it is an older body mold, so you can only get that much bend there because the glove really kind of cuts into the bicep there. Wrists swivel, and they do hinge. They all have the standard horizontal hinge on them. Ab crunch, so he can crunch forward that much, not a huge amount, not terrible. He can crunch back that much, decent enough, but it is still kind of limited. Waist swivel in there, you just kind of have to watch out for the belt. Legs go out that far apart, not a whole lot, unfortunately. He can't kick forward, actually really damn high. Doesn't really go back, ever so slightly. Upper thigh cut in there, double jointed knee, and again, there are pins in the knee because they're older, but it's all black, so what difference does it make? In my opinion, it's not necessary. Pinless is always cool, sure, always prefer it over pins, yes, but when it's all same color, it's not that big of a deal. But that much bend at the knee, double jointed knee. You do get a boot swivel at the top of the pirate boot there. Foot hinges all the way down. Should get a little bit of hinge up, not a whole lot. Ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So pretty standard articulation. But again, if you have the Cap Wolf figure, you already know what to expect. This is the Grim Reaper mold. So if you have the Grim Reaper figure, you get kind of, you know, figure and go from there. The new Sentry figure uses the same body. There's a few other figures, you know, that use the same body, so nothing really new there. There was also that, I think, the Secret Wars Cap figure that had come out as well, but you know, it still looks like a very good figure. So let's see how he looks compared to some, again, those other two US Agent figures that were released. Okay, and here are 3 US Agent figures: the Bucky Cap figure, the brand new one, and the MCU version. And the MCU John Walker is looking all sad because he is the only one that doesn't have a shield. Aw. No shield. So fun fact, as I'm recording this, the Thunderbolts team was just announced at D23 Expo, and of course US Agent will be a part of that team. The concept art that was revealed does not show a shield, but I would imagine, oh, you know what? No, does not show a shield. That was Taskmaster's shield that is shown. So I would imagine he will have some kind of shield at the time for Thunderbolts, and not a single doubt in my mind we will get a new figure of US Agent released when the Thunderbolts movie comes out, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, it was time for an update from this Bucky Cap. It's just too undersized. They have similar facial expressions too, but the way how they did paint back in the day on these ones just wasn't as good when it comes to like the facial paint and stuff like that. The shield though, I think, looks really cool because you get the star in there and stuff. You know, he's got pouches for the belt and whatnot. The dark red, it all looks good. But I actually do really like this newer one more so than the older release, just because the older release on the Bucky Cap, it just doesn't hold up as well. You know, to today's standards. It definitely had a better shield, in my opinion. It still used the C-clip and peg system, but at least we get some details on the inside of the shield as opposed to just kind of that bluish gray on the inside. But I definitely like the aesthetic, the cleaner aesthetic of the new figure compared to the older one. And comparison here, again, essentially the same exact figure. We get a better painted red for the gloves and the boots on US Agent compared to this cap. They did some kind of like shading and stuff on here, like you get some darker reds with some lighter reds and stuff. I just didn't care for kind of how it looked. It's kind of shiny in some spots where it definitely looks where the light reflects off a lot more so than on this newer one. So, you know, there's improvements in the gloves there, but it's, again, essentially the same exact figure. It's just different head sculpts and different paint. But I don't even hate that. I think, you know, it makes sense in my mind. You guys can let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Okay, and here is the whole entire controller wave minus the Build-A-Figure because I haven't put him together. He's off in a pile off to the side over here, like, you know, just kind of there. But the wave, again, the wave is going to be one where people are really going to pick and choose which figures they're going to want. Thor is awesome, must have. Quake is really, really cool. The Iron Man, even though there's so many damn Iron Man figures, is an awesome figure. But the highlight, Thor, I think US Agent is definitely going to be a harder one to find in stores. And Quake, Iron Man initially probably going to be a little easy to find, but maybe eventually people are going to want to pick him up because Iron Man's a very popular character. Hasbro knows what they're doing. They know that it's going to sell no matter what. But, you know, again, Thor, US Agent are going to be the first two to go, I think, then Quake. So you guys let me know in the comments below. What do you think of the wave? What do you think of the figures? Which ones are you getting? All of them? Some of them? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that join button to become a channel member and include yourself into the MCU collective. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.